All right. Well, it looks like we are live breaking down Caleb Williams versus Arizona State 2022. Very excited to dive into this tape. I was watching it the other day and I was like, man, this game, I don't know why people don't talk about it enough. I thought he really displayed his entire skill set in this game, and it was pretty competitive, which is good to see a quarterback keeping their team in the game, which is very much what I thought was the case for this one. So I'm gonna be skipping through some of the run plays where it's like, doesn't really have a whole lot to do with him. But he passes a ton in this game, so there's not gonna be a whole lot of skipping. But just know that like plays exactly like that, I will not be breaking down. All right, so they're kind of like a half pistol type deal, and it's a screen. And USC has a bunch of these gimmicky plays, but I mean, it's really cool to see how quick Caleb's release is, which is what, again, I don't want to keep comparing him to Justin Fields throughout this video, but this is a Bears video, right? We're going to be talking about Bears quarterbacks and how Caleb is different. Um, and I think from the last one specifically, I mean, the release is just so much faster, right? Like just the flick of the wrist to be able to do that. Where Fields, he really had to wind it up, and that is not the case for Caleb here. And this game maybe is not the best example for there is in structure playmaking, don't get me wrong, but I thought the 2022 tape from an instructor standpoint was a lot better. Like there was just way more of it on Caleb Williams tape, and his situation still wasn't great. And this play is an example why. I mean, this was here. Let's backtrack a little bit. Um, This was a fast snap. It does not look like he was ready to get the ball. It goes over him, and look at the strength in the pocket, right? To elude these tackles and make a play happen. And now I don't think he's gonna get like those. I mean, he might like right, like he might get clean. I'm not. I don't even know how to explain it because it's not a clean pocket, but like there's still quite a bit of space for as many things falling around him as there are. But I mean, the strength in the pocket. I mean, he there's just so many plays like that where guys are getting to the edge and he's stepping up and like they can't get him down. And this was a 3rd and 6, right? And I mean, just a disaster start of a play, right? Was not ready for the snap clearly, or I don't know what happened, right? Something was off, and he's still able to make this play. I mean, it's turning chicken shit into chicken salad, and those are the best quarterbacks do. Yeah, and then I think this is a really good example. This is a smash concept, right? So they're kind of trying to high low here. They're going to try to, have two curls, hitches on the outside, and then have a seam, right? And they're reading this corner, and he obviously goes with the seam. So just check it back down to your hitch, real nice and smooth, not panicking, right? Some guys like to just go for the big play, and they'll get stuck on this hitch. The corner clearly knows what they're trying to do there. Take your completion. Good stuff. That's what you wanna see more from Caleb Williams. I'm not saying that you don't see it at all. I think actually you see it more than he was getting credit for, but the major criticism with him was, that he gets bored with completions, which I don't really think is necessarily the case. I thought this year where he had sorry about that, I'm just gonna fix my audio for a second. Um, I thought this year when, the defense was allowing, like, 50 points a game, then yeah, he was, not um, he was getting kind of bored with completions, right? Because he felt like he had to come back in one game, and I don't think that's going to be the case for him with the Bears. So again, super clean footwork. Just it's just smooth, man. Like he's just got one of the smoothest throwing motions I can remember uh, from prospects in quite some time. And that's what you love, man. And when I keep talking about the release, but like these are the throws that I don't. They did a lot of screens. Don't get me wrong, but the timing in which he can just flick those out, like I think there's just such another layer of this offense in terms of the RPO game that's on the table with Caleb Williams. He's one of the best ball handlers uh, at the quarterback position for a prospect. Again, I can remember quite some time, and this is coming like a regularity with quarterbacks with all the RPOs that are in every level of football now. You kind of have to do stuff like this, and those are the crazy arm angles that really get you fired up, right? It's like it's different and unique. He's able to just flick it out with so much velocity. I mean, this is just making a defense wrong, right? He's gonna this edge, they're reading him, he's gonna crash down on him, and he's just gonna flick it out. And he's got numbers too, right? The corner's so far off, he's got a blocker right in front. Like this is just open space. This is basically like a running play, right? And this is a great read. He could have, and this is a cool play. He could have handed it off if the edge is going to stand right here. He could have kept it, right? If the edge is going to commit to the running back, he could have kept it and ran because they got blocking out in front. Or he can dump it off like he does here. And he makes the right decision. I mean, it's a massive gain. And I think you're going to see a lot of that. We see it all the time, especially with these top quarterback prospects when they translate to the NFL. The Bengals, I think, were probably the best example of just literally taking plays out of the LSU playbook, implementing it to their playbook. And I think you're going to see a lot of that with Caleb Williams and the USC offense in terms of like those type of plays, the RPO stuff that he runs almost like every running play is an RPO. You're going to see a lot of that with the Bears offense. Yeah, here goes another one, right? The same thing. If the corners are going to play that off, this is just free yardage, right? We're just going to take this. We're going to keep marching our way down the field and keep taking those. Yeah, Lincoln Riley loves his screens, man. He really loves his screens. There's like quite a few stretches of there's like 4 screens called in a row. And honestly, if defenses are going to play like this, I don't hate it. But it's like from an evaluation standpoint, it's like, all right, like I'm trying to see some more like NFL translatable stuff where like Caleb's actually quarterbacking. It's a run play. We're going to skip past. I think this is a QB sneak. Again, I'm really curious about because USC ran him and does the QB sneaks on like the occasional play, whatever. I'm really curious to see how much he's implemented into the QB run game. I don't think it's going to be a handful of times, but like I definitely think you can make defenses wrong by implementing him in the QB run game because he is slept on as a runner, in my opinion. Just another running play. We're going to skip past it. See, this is just beautiful stuff, right? And again, I don't mean to gush here, but this is like what every combine throw wants, like the far hash, which he's closer to the left hash than the right? So it's like it's on the farther side, and the out route, the speed out route, right, where you're just lasering it in. And Caleb, there's a handful of throws in this very game where he's literally putting it on him, right, as the route's breaking off. Against off coverage, Jordan Addison winning his leverage, right? And this is pitch and catch. And not like the Mac Joneses of the world can't make this throw, right? The top tier guys obviously can. Like the guys with legit arm strength can, but the combination of anticipation, arm strength, accuracy, drive, boom, right on his hands towards the sideline, away from the defender, like that is a handoff. And again, we see all these crazy throws that Caleb makes, but like even those, like I just like those will go underrated, right? Because when you can make throws like that, every part of the field you can weaponize it, right? And you're really just putting defenses into a bind. And here he's making calls the line of scrimmage. You don't know if he's seeing this on his sideline, right? Like that's the one thing you don't know. Like how much is it Caleb's command or how much are they telling him to change the play at his sideline? This is very common in college where they're just looking over and they'll have like a sign or something and they'll change the play. But yeah, I wish I probably did more research on that to see how much command he really did have at the line of scrimmage. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous stuff. Like this is just not normal stuff, and this is the stuff you hope that translates to the NFL, right? Like you don't know if either of these edge rushers are going to be playing on Sundays, but I mean, he's just smokes the left tackle, and Caleb doesn't even have time to get up in the pocket, and like that's what's counted out together: 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. It's like it's nuts that he's able to stay on his feet. It's I hate ever like talking about him honestly, but Deshaun Watson was like had just like crazy pocket stability where like that guy was not going down on like free rushers. Like he like could take so many hits from a standstill. And that kind of reminds me of what you see here with Caleb. Like that is crazy. He's able to stay on his feet. That's insane because I think this was I don't know what happened. If this was a screen, like sometimes I do this like crossing route where he's really the only one running a route. These guys are blocking, which that's what looks like it is. And the linebacker just picked it up. So the play's going to hell, right? Like there's one option on this play. None of these guys are looking for the ball, right? So that's what I'm assuming happened here. And again, turning a shit play into a positive one is what the best quarterbacks do. Yeah, penalties. Don't love those. A running play. Don't love those. I hope this looks good because the last one didn't look as good, but I'm in a better spot to where I think it should look good. I know I'm skipping through it a lot. Um, dude, and like I pointed one of these plays out to I think it was my co-host maybe I sent him to. It was this specific play, right? And this is sack avoidance. Oh, I might have posted this. This is sack avoidance, right? Like the fact that he's able to get this ball off is insane. Again, the play's gone to hell. The protection is clearly broke down. They had their protection wrong. It looks like they had it slid to the left. There's a free rusher coming from his right. He is hot. No one is looking for the ball. And when I say hot, that means knowing a free rusher is coming at you, and you got to get the ball out of your hands. I think the running back was trying to like chip and release. He loses his balance. There's no one looking for the ball at this point, right? And he is in a bad spot, right? Dead to rights is what I meant to say. And he's still able to get the ball out of bounds to a receiver, right? Let alone like it wasn't a intentional grounding call. Like knowing where his receiver was going to be and still like it's incredible. That's avoiding negative plays, right? That's like what all the analytics geek nerds like sack avoidance and avoiding negative plays, like that is a perfect example of it. And guys with average arm talent can't do stuff like that. All right, 2nd and 10. What do we got here? This offense is solely under the gun. If you didn't notice, it is all shotgun. And that was one of those fake screens. Okay, rips one over the middle. That's after my own heart, right? Like that kind of throw, which I know was a little gimmicky, right? It wasn't like a pure progression type of read. Like this was kind of like a schemed up play. It was almost like a fake screen seam, but he bent it back in for an in. And he still rips it right over the line. Like that's a layer throw, right? Right over that second level, right in between the third level. Oh man, I wish they had a better angle to where you saw it from the overhead from the offensive side. But like he puts it right over that linebacker and boom, that's right where it needs to be. And he's able to catch and run. You love the middle of the field, man. You love the middle of the field throws. And look, I gotta think he has a lot of command at the line of scrimmage because he is just hand signaling away. He's screaming at his offensive linemen. Like, you got to think he has a lot of command there, which again is super encouraging. But I mean, and like, there's someone right in his face too. Like, I didn't even notice that. Like, the edge rushers are smoking these tackles. They get him with the inside move, and he still puts it like the only place he could. It's just, I'm sorry, there's not a lot of negatives here. Like, what do you want me to say? We're watching the same game, right? Like, I'm not. All right. See, okay, he's making more calls to the line of scrimmage. He's got like a two back. I know the tight end's back there. It's a run play. All right. What do we got here? 2x2. Yeah, I think that was just a miscommunication. I don't know what happened there. He breaks inside of the corner, and that was a horrible route. And I don't know, Caleb just, it's clearly a miscommunication. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, I was told Caleb Williams doesn't check the ball down, right? Well, he's checking the ball down here. So again, just one example, but like, that's where else is open, right? You got kind of a check flat here with your tight end. I guess you could have gone to, but this linebacker's clearly picking it up. This was the best decision in my opinion. They got everything bracketed in the middle of the field. They're running curls on the outside. The receivers are not winning these. Take your check down in all this space, and look what he makes happen. You know, and that's what it's important, right? Sometimes with Fields, and I hate to keep comparing Fields, would just like try to read something out and would be so late to check it down that guys would get tackled like right away. Whereas like, he's making that within the structure of the play. Look how much catch and room run he has. Like, that's why timing is so important. Like, you'll look in the box score and see a completion and then not think twice about it. Whereas like, if you watch the film and contextualize it, that completion was like in the rhythm of the play was so much better than checking it down to, let's say, 83 here after like 4 seconds, right? When a guy's draped all over him and he's making a completion for like a 1 yard gain. It's just, the tape never lies, right? And again, the tackle's getting smoked, like someone's in his lap. And that's the kind of what he's going to be seeing at the NFL, right? Like, especially with the Bears, who, like, you're encouraged what they're doing on the offensive line, but they're not perfect by any means. Like, it's so much faster. I was watching the Seahawks offense because I was trying to learn about Shane Waldron the other day, and it's like, it's a totally different game, man. Like, it really is. Like, all right, is a run play. But yeah, I'm hoping everything is looking good. Again, if not, I'm gonna go ahead and look at the comments. Haven't seen much going on here, but I hope everything's looking good and you guys, it's not choppy at all. I know that was a problem last time, and if it is, please let me know. Oh, this play is absurd. This play, sorry, I thought it was a handoff. This play is one of his best highlights in my opinion. I think this is like Aaron Rodgers stuff to me. Like, and again, like, the defense played this pretty terribly, right? But the fact he's able to even get this throw off is absurd. Like, he is falling to his right, throwing across his body to his left. And the same, like, his ability to be on the same page, their ability, I should say, as the receiver, right, to just stop and work back towards the left, right, a little bit subtly, is absurd. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, this is such a hard throw. I want people to really, like, it's not a far throw, right? But I mean, he's still putting a ton of RPMs when he's throwing against he's throwing against the grain. I mean, just a playmaker, man. And what I noticed about him and why I compared him to Aaron Rodgers is, like, they are two at the college level for Caleb Williams to the NFL for Aaron Rodgers. This playmaking ability makes them so lethal in the red zone. Like, they're just surgeons there because they can make throws like this. where the defense has to worry about them running around, and they're usually not looking to run into the end zone, but they can just create open throws by doing that because guys are so close. The defenders are so close from the end zone to the quarterback that they're going to pursue him once he breaks out of the pocket. And that's when you can start to get guys open, right? You're making the numbers better for you. Yeah, this is they just try to get cute here, right? I don't really know what the plan is here. Like if he was like supposed to wheel up, but this was way too late. Dumb play. What is Lincoln Riley? Like they're faking kind of like a read option. But yeah, this is just a dumb play. I promise I will get into some negatives with Caleb Williams because I think we're about to see one here. It's not all pretty. I don't want to be biased here. Like I will call something out when I see it. This is the play, exactly the negative. This is a bad throw, right? Like you do not want him making this in the NFL. I know it was a completion. The DB played this terribly, just totally got out of the position. But you are dead to rights in a muddy pocket. You're just heaving it towards the sideline when there's a defender there with their eyes on you. Like in the NFL, could be a pick six. Like you do not want to throw this. This is the stuff he's not going to be able to get away with, right? And that other play I showed you, he had a lot of room to check it down. Perfect example, right? You feel pressure. You're stepping up in the pocket. Nothing's really open down here. Nothing is open down the field. They're trying to run to some type of mesh where both the receivers stop in the same area, and nothing's open down the field. You're kind of running corners into cover two. Not great. This is the time to just check it down, right? Know where your guy is. Get the ball out. You have a lot of space in the flats to work with. You cannot make this throw, which it looked crazy. Like I think on like his most famous highlight tape, this is one of the first throws on it. But like I would say 9 times out of 10 that's intercepted in the NFL. And you'll see it from the overhead view and you'll, I think, get a better sense of what I'm talking about. Like this is a very risky pass in my opinion. A jump pass towards the sideline when a defender's right there. Yeah, not going to be for me at the next level, but a cool play in college nonetheless. Man, they love this smash concept. They've ran it like 3 times now. So it's the same play, right? And this is an example, I think, he made the right read, but they're both biting down on this pretty hard, right? Both guys. But this DB and safety are kind of over the top. So good read. Don't have any problem with it. And hey, if they're not going to stop it, keep running it, and like this is, I mean, I keep saying this and maybe I'm like creating a fake narrative to kind of just make it like an us against the world mentality. But there was like a person or two that said Caleb had an average arm. Is this an average arm? Like far hash, just like a walking handoff, just a laser zoom. Like I don't know how anything about that is average, but to each his own. To each his own. All right, let's move past. We're gonna start to see some like people have the throws so good. Where the throws so far were good. They're about to get crazy. All right. Here we go. Like more of that just flick of the wrist, man. Flick of the wrist. Sorry, we're just going to skip past. Okay. All right, now we're back on track. Hopefully less of the screen stuff. Okay, this one, I posted this one as well. This one is not a normal throw. This one is actually, it's getting me fired up. So this again is kind of one of these fake screen smash. I don't even know the concept, honestly. It's kind of where the wide receiver on the outside is going to run back in for a curl. The one in the slot is going to run a wheel. And it looks like they're in some type of cover. It looks like they're in some type of cover three. So the safety's going to kind of cheat over to this side. The corner's got the wheel route. He does not bite on this curl, kind of covered up. Caleb could have thrown the curl here, but this throw is absolutely absurd because the wheel route, you're kind of looking to throw over the top of the defense, right? And it's clearly not there. The corner's got this capped off. So Caleb throws it on the wide receiver's back shoulder, far hash, literally on the sideline, like the only place the wide receiver can get it, away from the corner, full velocity. I mean, just a stupid throw. A stupid throw. This is not a normal throw, right? And when we're watching Caleb Williams highlights, this isn't going to make the highlight tape because he's not running around doing a backflip and throwing the ball, right? But like this in structure stuff where he's able to just, with solely his accuracy and arm strength, is able to put the ball away from the defense. I mean, it's just special stuff. Like you just don't see this from normal quarterbacks, even at the pro level. Like guys with the combination of both, right? The accuracy and the arm strength. I mean, that is just absurd. I still won't ever get over that throw. I might sound like I'm a hype beast right now, but I mean, that is a ridiculous throw. I mean, literally the only place you can get it, where the DB or the wide receiver kind of had to dive for it. But like, all right, I'd way rather have it farther on the outside than inside because that's when you get passes intercepted. And Caleb Williams to process that and then have the talent to actually throw it. Again, y'all, this is why he was raved about as this special prospect because you don't see this. I'm telling you, you don't see this on a lot of other quarterbacks' tape at the college level. And then this one, a little bit of a dangerous pass, right? Could consider it a turnover-worthy play. I get what he was trying to do, right? This is kind of arrogance with that arm where that's like an NFL window, right? I understand it, but I mean, that's pretty far out. I think he could have gone back inside to the in, which is an interesting concept, right? This is kind of the shit Luke Getzey did that drove me nuts. Like he'd have Cole Kmet like chip release and then run a dig, like you have the time to run that in the NFL. It kind of the same way with the running back. I think he could have gone back in, but he thought he had the arm to make this throw. And hell, from making a throw like he did just the play before, he probably does, right? It's just a little bit inside, and he ran himself into some trouble, right? It's just one of those speed option plays where he tried to get the out, and the linebacker, I think, or DB, I'm not sure, was just long enough to kind of deflect it. So, not the end of the world, but a risky throw. I don't think he like misread anything. I think he just kind of tried to fit it in a really tight window. All right, here he is making calls at the line of scrimmage. You love to see that. It didn't look like he looked at the sideline either, right? I think this is good stuff. This is stuff you want to see, having command of that offense, changing the play, changing the protection, whatever he's doing. I'm not that big of a quarterback guru to tell you exactly what he's doing, but encouraging stuff. And whatever he checked into was a good decision, right? Because the running back had a pretty nice game there. All right. Here he is making more calls at the line of scrimmage. Good stuff. Good stuff. Another run play. Oh, no, he kept it. See, Caleb Williams is an underrated runner to me, in my opinion. And what I love about what I already mentioned earlier is the ball handling. Because look at how badly he fakes out the defense. I mean, that edge rusher didn't have any clue where the ball was. Like he just thought this was a handoff. And look at how long he holds the mesh, right? He's really, really making the edge defender make a decision. And what I mean by that, I'm sorry if I'm talking into general terms. I will try to describe more. So this is a read option play, right? So they're going to leave this edge defender unblocked, and they're going to make him make a decision. You're either going to commit to the runner and the quarterback will keep it, or if you stay home and don't move at all and you account for the quarterback, we're going to hand it off, right? This is why they're leaving him unblocked. Because they're reading him. They're trying to make him wrong. And look at how long, like that's not normal either, which I don't know if that will fly in the NFL because the edge athletes are too good. They'll just blow up the play. But he's holding that mesh forever, right? I mean, the running back is like 2 steps the other direction before he's pulling the ball. And it got the defense totally fooled. It almost fooled the camera guy too. Yeah, I mean, it's impressive, man. The RPO game is where that will come into play, which it already has. Like we've already seen it, but like the ball handling again, very, very impressive, very, very deliberate, right? He's not just doing that to be lazy and hold the ball. Like, no, he's trying to make the defense wrong. And again, that shows kind of like a second level understanding. He did fool the cameraman. That's when you know it was a good fake, right? The cameraman took him a couple seconds to get back to Caleb Williams. All right, let's keep breaking this down. It's a 2-back set. Put him in motion. This is like one of the most ridiculous throws of the game, which I've said that like 10 times, but like it's a highlight reel, man. This type of stuff is a highlight reel. Same type of throw, working across his body, pressure in his face, a laser, right? In a way crowdeder area than the throw before in the red zone. And this is where that arm is a weapon, right? Creating these windows where some guys will not try these throws. I would say, even though Justin Fields, I think, has a very strong arm, we would pull our hair out sometimes. Like, dude, like try to throw into tighter windows. And that is not a fear of Caleb Williams. He will throw it through the keyhole, which is exactly what this play is here. It's like a little leak out play. I hate these type of plays in the red zone, to be honest, because I think you're just condensing the field. These like speed out, you're running to half. You've only got receivers attacking one half of the field. It's kind of like a levels play where there's a wide receiver at each level, which I don't even know how you really do in the red zone. But I mean, you can be late with that kind of arm. And I'm not saying that for Caleb Williams to be late. Like, you don't want him to be late, but like just the velocity right in his hands, like right. And again, I'm sorry if I keep, staying too long in one play. I was told, or I learned from, I think, Kurt Warner, that when you're throwing in the red zone, if it's short, like right here at the line of scrimmage, you want to throw it low. If it's in the back, you want to throw it high. That's how you protect the ball from defenders. Well, he's working towards the back. That ball is right up high, right? Like he has to jump to get it. Again, to have that level of accuracy while you're on the move, while some guy's in your face, to know where you're going to place the ball is next level stuff. I cannot stress enough. Like, that is so impressive to me. Because again, that just goes beyond talent. That goes, you're thinking the game real time when chaos is around you. And look, he faked the camera guy again. I mean, this is all in one game, y'all. This isn't a cut up. You've seen me skip through it, right? I'm not cutting up his best plays. This is all in one game. All right, what do we got here? What's the score, too? Sorry. So it's a tight game, right? It's a tight game. In the second quarter, I'll try to speed through this a little bit faster. There's a lot to break down. I just want to give you guys the full picture. I had a blast breaking down this game, and I hope you guys have had a blast to this point. I'm just having a really fun time. Another run play. We'll try to do better at skipping through those. Sorry, at one point of this, my cat was making some noise. I don't know if you guys caught that, so that's kind of why there was a delay. But we're back and better than ever. Back on track with Caleb Williams. So this is like a quick game type of concept, and I don't know what happened here. And let's what it kind of looked like. I don't know actually know if it was. They kind of faked the bubble here. They tried to I think it was the same play where they're faking the bubble screen. They're gonna run this in where it looks like he's gonna be running a go, and the DB was all over. They bracket this off, right? So they got a double team on it. I think it's always kind of dangerous, especially on stop routes, when you come back to this progression. Like you have to be a lot faster, I think, at doing that, which there's a handful of reps on Caleb Williams' tape where he does that. Like when you're coming back to this, and he honestly, he could have, if this guy's not here, he could have thrown this as the receiver's breaking his route, which there's a handful of reps on his tape throughout other games where he does that. I just think it's always a little bit dangerous when you're running stop routes and coming back to those routes because a lot of the times DBs will have already sniffed that out. And maybe I'm traumatized by that from Justin Fields, but a lot of the times when you're stopped in a progression, your routes like a stopping route, like a curl, DBs would have already sniffed that out if you're late on it, which again, I hate to keep throwing Justin Fields under the bus. Quick game, man. There's so many quick game reps where it was like, dude, you can't go through your progression of this play. It's like a one read and rip, right? But clearly this play was blown up from the start, and he just kind of had to make something happen, which is what he did. You'd like to just see him throw it away there. Like you don't got to do all that, take unnecessary hits. I love, the willingness to never die, but you should probably just throw it away here. It's a run play. We're going to skip past. And dude, I mean, his tackles have been getting smoked all game, right? And I'm sure this would be a lot cleaner where he's getting this ball more on time and he doesn't have to make this throw while he's stopping in his route. I mean, he's wide open. It's a post wheel. They both, I mean, the DBs for Arizona State have had a long game to this point. But if he doesn't get threatened by this pressure, right, I'm sure this throw is a lot cleaner. And I mean, to still know and have faith in your offense that this progression is going to come open. This is a good play against this coverage. It looks like it's quarters, right? So there's a post safety here and there's a 1/4 corner here. They should pass this off, right? So in an ideal world, the corner should pass this wheel route. I'm sorry, the safety should pass the wheel route from the slot right here. And the post safety should take the post. And they both bite on the post. And the wheel route's wide open, right, for a touchdown. So, in an ideal world, you'd want the protection to hold up. You'd want Caleb Williams to make this throw a little bit faster because DBs in the NFL can make up a lot of ground, right? I don't think he's scoring a touchdown here if the ball's this late. And I don't think both DBs are biting that hard on the post. Like, if you see another guy of your same jersey color running in front of you to the same guy, someone's out of position, right? And I think in the NFL, guys realize that. But again, the wherewithal to make this throw, have trust in your offense, know your plays are going to work. This is when stuff's in unison, man, and things are working, and you get touchdowns off plays like this. And just a subtle reset to launch one down the field. So they're really letting him air it out, and that's just I don't know if the pressure that flashed in his face got to him. Just a bad throw. I don't know. Just it happens, right? Okay, let's keep it rolling here. See, okay. I don't know if the pressure's starting to get to him because I think he's dropping his eyes a little bit here. He maybe could have thrown this in, even though, I don't know, safety's kind of here. You're not really putting your receiver into a position to succeed. And they kind of play scramble ball here. Could he have stayed in the pocket? Could he have made a better throw, like our throw within the structure of the play? Here, probably. But, he wants to get out of the pocket. He wants to create, and that's exactly what he does here. And again, I know I was a little bit harsher saying he could have stayed in the pocket, but This throw is absurd. It is just stupid placement, right? He's going to step up through the pocket, bail to his right, basically just juke this guy out within the pocket from a standstill. And while the linebacker is pursuing him, throw it right on the receiver's leverage for him to go catch and run for like 5 more yards. Like, I mean, just ridiculous stuff. The talent is just ridiculous. So this is a 2-minute drill. This is what Ryan Poles, and I probably should clarify this. This is what Ryan Poles said he wanted to see. Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus said they wanted to see improve from the quarterback position in 2-minute drills when you are the offense or the defense knows you're going to pass it. Those are what separates the best quarterbacks, how they perform in those situations, right? When the defense knows you're going to pass, they're going to throw their best stuff at you. How do you fare in those situations? This is a very good example to see how Caleb Williams fares in these situations, and which is why I think the Bears really gravitated towards him. Okay, living to see another down. This was one of those drag screen plays where the ASU has been sniffing them out the entire game, right? Nothing's open. These guys are not running routes. They are going to block. So just living to see another down, throw the ball away. Love that decision. In college, they can get away with running these bubble screens in a 2-minute drill because if they get a first down, the clock stops. And I mean, they're close to the sideline. I get it. Wouldn't be my choice, right? I'm looking to throw down the field a little bit more. But damn, Jordan Addison getting tossed around. How about that, Bears fans? A Vikings player getting tossed around. Never not a bad sight. All right. So I don't know. This is just a miscommunication, or he's trying to back shoulder to Braden Rice. I don't love the play call here again. Like, I think too many guys are stopped. It's too stagnant. He's running a curl. I think this is probably where you want to work. And on some of these plays, you're just trying to play numbers, right? So you're going to choose the side where there's less defenders. I kind of understand that Caleb wanted to go to the side where there's more room to work with. The defenders are more spaced out. This is kind of more of the condensed side of the field. I understand that, but yeah, I mean, I don't really have that big of like people, who just screenshot will be like, well, he was open, right? Number 4 was open, but like after just explaining like he's working to the side where there's more room to work with, where the receivers have more room to get open, you kind of understand, right? It's a half field progression. You're choosing one half, and that's why he didn't go to that side. And the DB just gloved up Braden Rice, which was pretty common. But yeah, that's kind of what happened there. So it is what it is. They'll live to see another down, live to see another drive. Just a run play. More RPOs, more bubble screens. Nothing new here. It's still impressive, right? I don't want to take away from the crazy arm angles and the velocity and whatnot, but a handful of those throws on tape. I don't think there's really much analysis that needs to be done. All right, here's some down the field stuff that it looks like. And honestly, like there's not a whole lot here, right? I think he was trying to work this like 3-man progression with the running back. He runs a bad route. It's an option route. I think he probably could have gone. I don't know if it is an option route. If it was, he definitely attacked the wrong leverage, in my opinion. The receiver slips out of his break. Protection's breaking down. Not a whole lot of great options here. Caleb's just going to go ahead and make a play and still find his running back, right, for a gain. Selective playmaking, I think, is what you kind of have to watch for Caleb, right? Like, are you relying on out of structure too much, or are you being selective in the plays that you are going out of structure? And I think this is a good example of good judgment, right? There's not a whole lot of great things here. The DB's closing on this receiver here, right? The receiver stumbles out of his route. Your protection is breaking down. Your running back's not really open. This was a good example to start to create. All right, let's keep moving along though, y'all. Sorry. We're almost towards the finish line, but there's still a handful of throws. I think you get a really good sense of the kind of talent that Caleb Williams is. Here he's making some calls to the line of scrimmage. Good stuff. Love to see it. Hands it off. That's fine. This is just absurd. So the read isn't necessarily that complicated. This is just like a crossing concept, right? They're going to run a deep over the middle, and they'll have a dig right behind it. And, he could have gone either one, but the velocity and arm strength this throw takes to put it on the receiver towards the sideline, again, special stuff, right? And he's just doing it from the standstill across his body. Like he's not even running, right, to generate that velocity. Like he's just right off the fake, boom. And that ball is there in a timely manner right on the receiver. Man, this is the stuff that gets you fired up, right? With how this offense is going to look with the Bears, because they're going to have a lot of guys running this route who are going to be open. And this is like NFL open, I think, right? Because the DB's kind of draping behind the wide receiver. It's a tight window, and it's a far distance. Sorry, my AirPod fell out. And it's a far distance. And he's still putting it right on his leverage, a massive completion. You just love to see it. Jordan Addison, go ahead. Give us the first down, man. This is what I think they're going to have DJ Moore running, where Rome, I think, will be the dig guy, right? But just use DJ Moore's speed to run away from guys. Like, I don't think they did that enough last year, and this is kind of what I want to see with this offense, where all the receivers can do so many different things. Yeah, they're just working play action here. Nice decision. Clearly wins off the route here on this comeback. Good ball towards the sideline. Good stuff. Good stuff. Nice in rhythm passing. Could he have been a little bit sooner? Sure. I think he was trying to read out the progression. And that's the nice thing with comebacks, right? Like you have a little bit of room versus a curl. Like I think you have a little bit of room for error. Yeah, I don't love the decision here. I mean, I get it. You trust your guy, right? I don't love the play. How it's only like it's kind. I think it's an RPO where you're just throwing a fade if you like a one-on-one matchup. But the safety's kind of hovering over here. He's pressed up. Like Jordan Addison's not really a go ball guy, or not a go ball guy, a goal line fade guy. I hate the goal line fade in general, but like especially to like a smaller receiver who's not very physical. Like I don't love the decision here. I get you trust your guy. Not a misread by any means. Just I don't think, not the right place nor the right time to make this throw. Nor the right player, I would say. Braden Rice, I'd get it a little bit. Physical body, understand. Not the throw I love. But this is stuff you learn from, right? Like that could be your offensive coordinator telling you, like, hey, like if you see Jordan Addison one-on-one, you go to him. And here's more of the sprint out stuff, which I don't think works nearly as much in the NFL. But, if you can get gains like that, who cares? Nothing really to see here. This is kind of taking the coverage out of it, right? I think it's more progression-based kind of stuff. It's like no different, in my opinion, than like a play action rollout that we see like the Shanahan offense do. It's kind of like college's version, I think, is the best way I can describe it. I don't love it because I think the play action element fools defense a little bit more. Whereas this, you're kind of just committing to one side and condensing the field. I don't know. Not my favorite stuff. I know it's play action here, but I think it's quite obviously like a pass play. I don't know what happened here. I think if he was like nervous that the bubble wasn't going to get there because of the defender, it happens. Go make a play. That's exactly what he does. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. It is what it is. I'm going to try to kind of speed through these next couple plays here. What's the score too? It's still 17-21 after that turnover. So here he takes a sack, right? What happened here? Okay, it's going to sound like I'm an apologist here, but they are blitzing, right? So the running back completely gets blown up in pass protection. And they either miss the call. It is a blitz. That they're bringing 5 guys, and the running back loses here. So there's not really anywhere to go from a hot perspective. And when I say hot, like hot is, again, the route you go to kind of get rid of the ball. He could have, I guess, thrown it to Jordan Addison here on the in, anticipating a break. But again, I don't think he has enough time to kind of make that throw comfortably. This is not a bad sack, in my opinion. This is his running back letting him down. And again, maybe call me apologist. Sacks are a quarterback stat. I'll be the first one to say this, but I don't really think this one's on him. I think that's I think that's on the running back, and he could do a better job of protecting the ball here. Like, just kind of accept that you're going to go down. I know you love the mentality of him breaking out of sacks and making plays, but he gets kind of loose with the ball here is what I mean. Like holding it out with one hand at that point. Like, don't do that. In the NFL, that ball will come out. All right, here he's making calls, looking at the sideline, changing the play, 3rd and 14. What's he going to do here? Situational football, right? And one of the rarest things you look for in a quarterback, in the Patrick Mahomes of the world and the Josh Allens of the world, is can they make up this ground? When your back is against the wall, it's 3rd and 10 plus. The guys that can convert in those situations are the best ones doing it right now. And the guys that stand out to me in those situations is Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. This is one of those situations. So they're going to bring the heat. What's Caleb going to do? They're running curls, right? Just across the board curls. They got a curl in the center of the field. It's curl flats. Or I don't even know. It's not even curl flats because it looked like curl flats, but he's going to delay into a wheel. I hate this concept. This is dumb. But just curls on both outsides and in the middle, right? I hate the play call. What is Caleb going to do? Still makes the play. Creates for himself and is still able to get the first down. Impressive stuff. Back is against the wall. The defense is pinning their ears back. The pass rushers are not worried about the run. They're smoking both these tackles, right? He steps up, breaks out of the pocket to his left, fires one right at the sticks. That's NFL stuff. I hate to compare anyone to Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, but like the guys that have talent to make those plays on their own is why Caleb Williams went number 1 overall. Just watch it from the overhead view. Boom. Right at the sticks. I don't even know if that was a first down, but like you understand what I'm saying, the process of it all. It was a first down. So it's running play. No one loves those. And again, this is pocket presence, right? The play is going to shit. They're bringing extra pressure. You slid the protection the wrong way. Again, I don't mean to generalize. I don't mean to assume anyone knows what I'm talking about. So I'll try to break it down as thoroughly or as fast as I can. So it looks like the protection is slid to the right, meaning more guys slide to this direction, and they're bringing pressure off the left. So that means they're wrong. And someone is going to come open from the left, which is exactly what happens here, right? You see more guys slide here, and there's some guy that's not doing anything. So they're wrong, and Caleb's like, oh, I'm throwing hot. No one's looking for the ball, right? The progression doesn't call for a really hot route. He could have checked it down, but he's just going to step through and make a massive gain, right? Situational awareness. Don't look for a hot if no one's going to come open, right? Like, don't stand there and think someone's going to come open. Like, he could have thrown this, I guess, which is not, I wouldn't really call it a hot. But I mean, he's stepping up immediately and he's getting out of there. Don't take a negative play. And he's talking trash. Love to see it. So this is probably a better angle to explain what I'm talking about. See how there are more people sliding to this side and there's an offensive lineman double teaming. Like there's one guy doing nothing where this guy's coming in unblocked. So Caleb is hot. I appreciate you guys, whoever's still there with me. This is a longer game. I apologize for it being lengthy. I just want to kind of get it from all angles. Yeah, they're just trying to pound it in here at the goal line. This is me and Madden. I'm so scared to pass at the goal line. I respect it. And look, Troy Dye out here jumping over the pile. Love to see it. They punch it in. All right. If this is going to be majority runs, I might end this a little sooner, which it might be. They have a pretty sizable lead. We're going to see, because I think I kind of tuned out. Not tuned out. I think I didn't finish this game all the way through. But, I mean, that was a really impressive drive to kind of punch it in and take a pretty commanding lead right there. Throw it away. You're, again, situational awareness, right? Like, you don't have to make anything happen here. He was a little late on the route break. I don't know. The fake was a little long. And, you know, by the time the fake is done, like, he's still kind of selling the fake as the receiver's coming out of his break. Just throw it away, right? Like, it's not there. You don't need to make something happen that's not there, especially when you're playing with a lead. And here they are blitzing. Just making it easy, man. Not flinching, right? A lot of guys, when they know they're bringing heat, will try to move around. I won't name names. I mentioned them before tonight. We'll try to move around and break out, right? When they know it's coming. They don't want to stand in there. Caleb has shown he will stand in there, right? And make this throw. Look at two. The anticipation. Let's look. As the receiver's coming out of his break, right? And look at how the release, right? He's still breaking. Boom. It's on him. I mean, that ball's out fast. And look, they're keeping the drive alive. They're keeping the ball. They're running the clock. This is just a part of the run game, these type of screens. Like, if you're going to give – I promise you, like, you're going to see it with the Bears. If you're going to give the Bears this much room on the perimeter, they are too talented at the receiver position to not throw these all day. You're going to see it. I promise you. You're going to see it. They will throw these and be content throwing these. You guys were sick of screens with Luke Getsy. This is going to be a part of their offense. You're not weaponizing Caleb Williams enough if it's not. You're not weaponizing your receivers enough if it's not. If you're going to play that off, right, and you're worried about what they're going to do down the field, they're just going to do this all day to you. They're going to pick up 5, 6, and take it and be content. Looks like they're going to play some press here. I bet it's going to be a run. No, it's a pass. Wow. And they're going to throw the go ball. And I think pressure just got to Caleb here. Wasn't really able to step into this. It's a good decision, right? Because it's a corner blitz. So this is what it looks like. It kind of looks like cover 2 or like 2-man, some variation of that. So what I mean by that is the corners are pressed up. They got 2 deep safeties kind of split in half the field. Again, alarm bells pre-snap are saying cover 2. What it really is a corner blitz, right? So this corner is going to blitz. They're going to rotate, right? So it's kind of like cover 3 or like cover 1 man, where this corner is going to have this receiver. He's going to have the deep center of the field, the safety, and then this corner is either going to be manned up or have the deep third. And so Caleb's like, I got one-on-one with Jordan Addison. I'm going to take it every time and throw this go. He won the route, even though he's still forcing it inside the safety's help. And I think Caleb just wasn't able to step into this. But again, from a decision-making standpoint, from a processing standpoint, to read that post-snap, that's the right decision. I'm throwing that every time. If you got Jordan Addison, your best wide receiver, one-on-one, you take those matchups all day. And it's still not a terrible throw. And it was a pass interference too. Like, all right, so they might just try to pound it in from this point onward, and I might be free to wrap it up. I know it was a longer one. I apologize. I do tend to get pretty wordy here. I do want to break it down as best as I can for you guys. And Caleb Williams is a blast to watch. I mean, how can you not replay this stuff multiple times? It's fun stuff. And look at this. This is another variation of the RPO. Pre-snap, that's all it takes is a pre-snap read. Again, if you're going to give them this much space, they can do so much off it. They can make you wrong, right? If you're not going to press up on this wide receiver, we're just going to take the yards you give us. And that's easy. We're going to get right to the 1 yard line. That's just pitch and catch. Like, you gotta respect us more, right? And that's exactly what they're doing with that play, having that tagged in there for Caleb to just choose to do that if defenses are going to play him that way. All right, let's see what this looks like man to man. Wow, what a route. I mean, just wide open, and Caleb Williams gets that quick and on time before the safety can close down on it. I think this is an RPO too, kind of like an RPO. I forgot the route's name. I don't know why I'm blanking on it. It's these RPO slant plays, but they call it something else. And man, he knew he had him one-on-one against man right away, and he was throwing that. Yeah, I mean, this is when I talk about having conviction in your throws, being a weapon in the red zone, having that arm strength to kind of just throw it that quickly. Yeah, this is what separates the best. All right, what's the score here? Because, okay, 35-25. We're almost done here. We got 2 more minutes. And look, they would rather look at how many bodies there are here, right, to defend the run, right? I think most teams' defenses would think, hey, they're going to run the ball here. They have a 10-point lead. There's 6 minutes left in the game. Okay, if you're going to stack the box, we'll just have an RPO bubble tagged onto the play. And we'll just throw this on the outside where you have less defenders there. And we'll take this 5 to 6 yard gain every time. This is just a part of your run game, in my opinion. Yeah, they're really bringing the heat. And they're going to run, and that's about all she wrote with a game like that. Yeah. I will say, in situations like this, I think Eric Eager said, like, he showed us a chart where, like, which teams allow their quarterbacks in situations when you're playing with the lead in, like, the fourth quarter, which teams let their quarterbacks throw. Those tend to be the best ones. Well, they're letting Caleb Williams rip it here, right? They have a lot of confidence in him. They keep running these RPO plays, which, again, I keep saying it. If they're going to give you that, they're going to give you these throws. Like, there's no defenders in sight. How do you not throw it? This is just weaponizing what Caleb Williams can do and the looks defenses give you. You're making them guard every inch of the grass, every inch of the turf. All right, this is probably the last play. So I wonder what it is. But it's a run. Yeah, it is a run, and they score. All right, y'all. I think that's going to be it for us. I might do this again with other games with Caleb Williams, but this is one of the most impressive. I think I pointed out all but like 3 negative plays and some of the most amazing, crazy plays you'll ever see from a quarterback ever. This is one of the most impressive games I've ever watched from a quarterback prospect. So I'm glad I got to share it with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. But I am signing off. Oh yeah, Johnny, just a bad play call. There's a couple in this. There's a couple in Lincoln Riley's offense, very gimmicky. But again, y'all, I will be back to maybe break down another Caleb Williams game, maybe some Shane Waldron. We will see. But I'm glad you were able to join and keep it real. Bear down.